Hello everybody, welcome back to a beautiful, beautiful day in the world of TF2. Isn't it just, the sun is shining, the birds are singing, everything's blowing the fuck up. It's just a beautiful day. Anyway, I'm here today for another TF2 rant, and as per usual, I'm talking about nothing and everything at the exact same time. And that's not even possible, and I'm still doing it. Anyway, I'm here, as per usual. I'm not going to talk about TF2, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about hype in video games, hype in general, what hype does to a person. Hype is when you as a person, you see something and it builds up over time. Your idea of it builds up over time, you know what hype is, and eventually it just becomes this thing that's far bigger than what it originally was, the game or whatever. And suddenly it's better than what it originally. Suddenly, no matter what it is in the end, it'll never be better than it. Now, some scientists see this as a neurological flaw, others see this as a neurological advantage as humans. But I'm not getting into the science of it. I just want to talk about what it does to video games, what it does to leads up in video games, and what it's really doing to how much people are enjoying video games in the daily world right now. Anyway, the most obvious example, the most obvious recent example, was Titanfall. Titanfall has been out for about a year now, maybe less, 8 months, 7 months. It was fun. It was a good game. Very gimmicky, but it was a good game. It was out for about 2 weeks. Basically, you had your fun, you went around to the Titan, you killed a few things. That was kind of it. You know, there was nothing really else to it after you did that. So, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the main advertising slogan that came from IGN, I think, was "Believe the hype." Because there was a massive lead up to this game. This game just got so much goddamn lead up. Like, everyone was just like, this game is just so good, this game, and like, it's so innovative, and it's so amazing, and we have to play it all the time. And then no one played it for longer than a week because it got very, very boring and very, very repetitive. It's interesting to me that how the mind works, that the idea of something can become so much bigger than the actual game itself. Like, if that game got no lead up and it just came out and it got a few adverts when it came out, people would buy it. Probably not as much. A lot of people would buy it, and honestly, I'd say it would have had a better reaction. People would have been like, this game's very, very good, I very much enjoyed it. But because of the hype it got, not as many people enjoyed it. In fact, most people said it wasn't a good game. Full stop, even though I disagree. I think it was a good game, it was very well made. The only problem I had with it was the fact that it was so overhyped in the first place. Now, of course, Titanfall is not the first example of this. Halo had this, Call of Duty has this every single year. Assassin's Creed is beginning to fall for this. It's from a very, very common symptom of repeated games or newer games or really new innovative ideas, that they get big massive ad campaigns that just spread out everywhere and just every gamer hears about it, and it just becomes like a literal hype train. I always loved that metaphor for hype, because that's what it is. It's a train, because one person gets on it and then 50 others follow that one person. Like, E3, just that's the hype station, if you will, because people just see all these amazing games at E3, they get hyped up for all of them, think about buying all of them, and rarely do they live up to expectation. Now, I'm going to talk about a game that I really loved, that came out recently, that had a massive lead up, which was Bioshock. Since Bioshock Infinite had such a big lead up, I actually didn't enjoy it as much as I would have. Especially the ending. The ending got a massive lead up. A bit like the Sixth Sense kind of thing. No one really was as impressed with the Sixth Sense ending after they heard what the Sixth Sense ending was. Because it wasn't as interesting when you didn't see it for yourself, or when you didn't get such a massive lead up. Now, going back to games, the last two games I've mentioned, Titanfall and Bioshock, both of them are new. Well, a year old, both of them are relatively new. That's because old games never did this. Back when gaming was in its adolescence and it was a very, very young type of game, there were adverts for games when they came out, there were magazines for games before they came out, but there was no huge, massive lead up where people started flipping out and just wasting their wallets and just throwing everything at a computer screen because they just wanted the game so badly. There wasn't that in the first place, and honestly the question I was trying to get around to from all of this ranting and stuff is, does that make games better or worse? Because games that got such a huge lead up tended to be better. But in fairness, they weren't better. It's a slight paradox because they weren't better because they were so well led up. And then these older games like, you know, Mario, Zelda, of course they got adverts, they did get lead ups and they were very, very well advertised and stuff, but they did not get the massive amount of hype that every other game does in the current market. And honestly, my personal opinion is that I prefer the old way. I think the best way we should do it is go back. It's not going to happen, but the way I'd like it to go is to go back to the way that, you know, the way that a game only got some lead up. It didn't get a massive train lead up where everyone just loved the game and every reviewer gave the game 10 out of 10 and you got so hyped up for it, and then you played it and you didn't enjoy it as much because the experience was slightly tainted by the fact that everyone was playing it. Now, getting past all that, all I gotta say is the old method was better. I liked the old method better because the old method had surprises. Good games surprised you because they didn't get a lead up. They just kind of were there. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk about this because there's been a few games that happened at E3 a few months ago that I thought were going to be amazing, weren't as good as I thought they were going to be, and there's more to come that I doubt will be as good as I think they're going to be. And I think it's a constant cycle. And I just wanted to talk about it. So anyway, say what you want to say in the comments. I'll see you again next time. If you like what you saw, then yeah, I'll see you again next time. If you didn't like what you saw, then I won't see you again next time. Feel free to like and subscribe. Bye.